Peace. Lavender Lane here. I'm just hanging out in my studio this evening. Was doing a little meditating and I had the intention of going on this great journey wherever I might have went. But my neighbor decided to start doing his yard work the same time I decided to start meditating. And at first I started to get really irritated. Like, how dare you? You know, it's 6 o'clock at night. It's not time to be cutting grass. And I remembered during my yoga teacher training, my teacher told me a similar story about getting up in the morning and having a routine of self-care, of practicing yoga and meditating before the rest of the family, mostly her kids, would wake up in the morning. So I think most of us run into this clashing of our spiritual practices and our daily lives, especially when we're moms and we have little ones running around climbing all over us. So something that I've learned to do, something that I've found has been useful for me, is that when I am meditating or doing yoga or I'm engaged in some type of self-care, it's inevitable that I'm going to be interrupted by either a noise or a visitor, a phone call, the doorbell. And instead of reacting from a place of ego, from a place of how dare you interrupt my, super important activity that I'm doing, I embrace these interruptions and these distractions. So if it's something that I can ignore, such as the neighbor cutting the lawn, the trash truck driving by, the kids making noise in the other room, I bring that noise and that experience fully into the moment, integrating it into my meditative practice so that I am fully present, fully in the energy of allowing whatever is happening around me that is surely out of my control. So instead of trying to block the world out, I engage in this practice of being present with the world, being present with what's happening, being in an energy of allowing and accepting my lack of control over what's going on externally, while at the same time taking responsible for what's going on internally, because I am fully in control of how I respond to these external disturbances. And I find by practicing this way of thinking, especially in my yoga and my meditation practices, that during my daily life, when the unexpected happens or my plans don't go the way I had expected, or I want quiet time and the kids are running and screaming, I can return to that place, that energy of allowing, the way of thinking of not being in control of the world and allowing the world, allowing what's happening while taking responsibility for what I do have control over, which is my emotions, the way I choose to think, and my reactions to other people. Something to think about. Thank you for joining me. Peace and namaste.